In the world of scuba diving, new frontiers are difficult to find. But one still expects you in the Red Sea. Gannets belong to the few animals that you find topside in this part of the world, and you won't see many other boats as well here in the southern Suakin archipelago, where you find places like Masamarit, Kara Masamarit, Dharadabid or Dharadabid. At this island you face deep waters, making drift dives amazing events. So let's go diving. When drifting along these southwestern walls, you encounter many big pelagic animals. A giant school of chevron barracudas is always present. And hawksbill turtles use the wall as a takeoff ramp.
I like something very much. At the beginning of each dive, we go to the deep blue. We go down maybe to 40 meters, something like that, and we stay there for between 10 and 15 minutes to wait for the big fishes like hammerhead, like big tuna. Very often we saw some stuff.
The island of Dharadabid offers many dive spots, including a beautiful coral garden at the northeastern corner, falling off slopingly from 5 to 20 meters. A good option to encounter sweet lips. This is not Mick Jagger, this is the giant sweetlip. Big as a grouper, a greedy and irresistible guy. Always wandering over the reef top, a massive school of black-spotted sweetlips. Staying incredibly cool, even when approaching divers make videos or take pictures.
No, favorite moment, I don't have it, because every dive it was different and every dive had his special moment. So I can't realize which one will be the best.
Time for traveling again. Within a 2 weeks tour, starting from Port Sudan, you can stay between 8 or 9 days in the deep southern area. After 1 hour of sailing from Dharadabid, you reach Dharadabid and Shabgab. There, a plateau reaches south, forming a small peak at 23 meters. Habili Lori. Probably one of the most prolific and diverse reefs of this area. It would also be appropriate to call this reef the Red Hill, due to the many sea whips and due to the majestic common big eyes who live close to the peak of Habili Lori. It cannot get much more reddish.
In the south, in comparison to the north, for instance, we had a lot more fishes. A lot of surgeonfish, for instance. We had some dive with plenty of surgeonfish.
Ascending again, meeting silky sharks. Young guys and girls, fearless, and sometimes a bit impertinent. They are coming close, maybe a bit too close, if you are not used to this. But they are not the biggest predators around. The biggest prey catcher is dive guide Maurizio. Science calls this kind of reaction tonic immobility. For sharks, researchers relate this sudden paralysis to mating. It's even more impressive observing it when you don't know before that your dive guide is able to do it. Shark researchers used this way of immobilizing sharks for their studies. A safe method for every human and animal being part of the action. This shows another opportunity to dive Habili Lori, preferentially before sunset. When day turns into evening, dives provide magical moments. Habili Lori's marine life seems to be sleepwalking when the western wall is struck by the last rays of sunshine.
In general, I like really all the corals we can see everywhere when we are alone, always alone. And we can turn around the big tables of coral. It's really beautiful.
Fully intact and healthy, the southern wall, providing a rich mixture of all sorts of invertebrates.
I remain surprised for colors that we found on the water and the many species of fish we can still see.
Already covered by darkness, the eastern wall, where groupers hide and corals provide shelter for nudibranchs. A jumbo of black corals. When exploring the dense branches, you soon find tiny long-nosed hawkfish.
And we also have a lot of soft coral. I haven't seen that much soft coral in the north, for instance. So a lot of fishes, a lot of species also living together.
At the very end, on the reef top, some great barracudas have docked a cleaning station. Just before they are going back to work again. Our next stop is a place that also DonQuesto dived in the 60s, when shooting the shark episode for his undersea world. At Dharadabid Island you can meet all sorts of red sea sharks, silkies, greys, hammerheads.
Every day we've seen hammerheads. I've been very surprised that we can see them so many.
Always surprising for me to see sharks and hammer sharks like that, coming around and turning just in front of us. It's really beautiful.
I think it's because of the thermocline we had at 20 meters and 30 meters.
A pretty rare encounter, a big marbled stingray. Approximately 10 cleaning wresses are following him. The architecture of this dive site is pretty unusual, because the main reef and the deeper plateau are connected by a long slope. Sometimes, with a bit of luck, you may catch a magic moment in marine life. A an everlasting reef of fusiliers, snappers and surgeonfish. Southern Sudan is a great place for taking pictures. Far too many subjects are available, but regulations are not.
Even the grid, it takes it very easy, and you have time to do whatever you want. You know, you've got time to take pictures, you've got time to look around, you've got time to stop and wait. The fishes are coming near to you. You know, you can really enjoy it. Every dive that we had has been very interesting.
We are touching one of the last frontiers of diving, but exploration dives should be undertaken carefully. Captain Ivan keeps a wary eye on the dive guides who check the new reef. And GPS data should also be saved.
Exploration dive again. We have one plateau in the northeast side, another one in the southwest. We can suggest to dive in the southwest side because we saw many fishes. The first group is my group, second group, and Isaac's group. Go.
Now, who may have been the last diver who has seen this reef before, if so at all? Visiting unknown reefs like this one belongs to the most exciting things you can do in scuba diving. Unknown places don't have to be good places, but the area's quality justifies every exploration.
I liked every single dive that I had, even the ones that we didn't see hammerheads, because the reef is so alive and beautiful.
We don't see the same thing, we don't see the same relief, and it's really nice to see that.
Not to forget, a new dive spot needs a new name. Now we leave the two Darads and their surrounding reefs, reaching Masamarit Island and its neighbor Masamarit. Both are places which are able to put a smile on your face. Masamarit Island is full of sand, produced by one of the most powerful species around. Many bumphead parrotfish patrol the reefs of Masamarit, feeding on stone corals using their mighty jaws. When this herd of buffaloes have browsed the reef, they leave scarred zones behind. Close to Masamarit, you find one of the best dive spots in the whole Red Sea. In a belongless reef with a small sandy top and very deep waters around. The South Plateau of Karam is a miracle of nature. Located at 25 meters, it's easily submergible. Hard corals have shaped a wonderful, unique-looking landscape. And dense clusters of soft corals cover pillars of striking size. The marine life, both along the wall and on top of the reef, belongs to the most diverse that you can find in the southern Suakin archipelago. You meet schooling snappers, surgeonfish, sweetlips, bannerfish, all living very close together. This place should be dived a couple of times if ever possible. Having done this, exploring the deeper part of Karam Masamarit is a must as well. When falling down these steep walls, you meet trevallies and barracudas. A promising prelude for other exciting things to come.
We did this dive in Karam Masamarit 3 times on the South Plateau of Karam Masamarit. And we had more and more hammerhead at each dive. First dive we had maybe 2 or 3 hammerhead, the big one. The second one we had maybe 5 or 6. And at the third dive, Karam Masamarit, we had plenty, I don't remember, 25, 30.
Nothing at the beginning, and after I saw 30 sharks turning around us, so it was really nice to remember that.
With a big mother hammerhead shark in the middle and some smaller one around. That was very nice. I like it a lot.
I think that remained one of the last places that a diver could be very interesting for